Here's your reminder to just be kinder to yourself and give yourself the time to rest. Give yourself the understanding that when you work in this type of society of where we're at right now in the world, all of this is just man-made. It's just fictional. It does not exist. It's these schedules and times. You don't have to live by that. You can find another way. I don't have the answer to where the way is, but I know that us as a society, we don't have to live this way. We just need someone to, I guess, essentially come up with it and shepherd us into the way of a different type of living, to think that we don't need change, I'll look at history. We went from hunting and gathering to creating society and farming and communities, and we came more and more together, and now we're not taking care of each other as good as we should. And that's not okay. For all these religions that exist, one of the main things between all of them is that you should essentially, be good to each other. And as a society, we could thrive. And I think that a lot of the good things that came from ancient civilizations and just mythologies, even, when they decided that this was the way, they didn't have good health and they didn't have good science necessarily, but their belief in day-to-day life, I'm sure that some of them at least were able to enjoy it, and they believed in a lot of crazy things, but I wouldn't say it's as bad as it is nowadays. It's just more subtle nowadays, everyone knows that this person hates that or likes that, or everyone knows everything about everyone nowadays. And I think that that's kind of exposed a lot of people, but also made some people very uncomfortable. And I don't think that's the route that we're supposed to be going on anyways. I don't think we need to be exposing everyone, because it's not doing a lot of good, but maybe it'll lead to a lot of good. Maybe exposing everyone is how you root out who's bad person. And if that's the case, we need to start building more things and basing education on moralistic understanding, on some type of, hey, don't be this type of person. When you're a child, you should be learning this probably actually when you're a teenager. And invest more in teachers, give more to the teachers. The teachers need it. People complain about bad workers, but I gotta tell you, for all the jobs I've had, the people who get paid really good are your really good employees, because if they don't, they leave. The people who are okay with the amount of pay they get, the people who are satisfactory with where they are and content with this is it, I'm not going to go any further than this, those people are the bad workers. Those people are the people who are not doing much, and that's what everyone's basing everyone on. But those people, for every 20 employees, there's maybe 2 or 3 of them. It's not like it's everyone. It's not a lot of people. It's not even a majority. So just, if you paid your teachers well, and you made teaching a really good career, and you made teaching a really important career, and you explain that even to kids, to everyone, how important education is, how important being knowledgeable of what's going on is, I think we would build a better society. I think if we put put all our muffins in a basket, let's put it in the basket of education. Let's put all our muffins in the basket of education. Let's put all of our muffins in the basket of education. Yeah. All your eggs, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I don't remember what, I think that's what it is. Why? Because they'll break? I don't, that's, okay, whatever. Or don't count your chickens before they hatch. What the fuck am I talking about? Wow. Anyways, so, I think that if we just pretty much put all of our money on education, we could come up with brilliant ideas, brilliant educators. Because, I mean, people who are smart are trying to find ways to thrive really well in a society. And what thrives really well in our society is money. So what you're driving is really smart, money-driven people, which only leads to more people who only care about money and are money-driven. But if you made it to where you could thrive in our society based on the knowledge that you have, or based on your craft or your creativity, or based on the fact that, anyone could thrive. If you just gave everyone the opportunity, then at that point, you have an equal playing ground, and everyone can do whatever they want within the confines of, some rules. That's what laws are for. But laws should never, man, don't get me started on American law, Jesus. Some of the laws that exist are like, you can clearly tell that this law. For example, the fact that there's a law written for you to not have sexual intercourse with an animal in multiple states across our country is ridiculous. The fact that we needed to tell people not to do that, like, what's going on here? Like, I understand that people's brains act differently and everything, but I feel like we are at a good point in society where we have a better understanding of how our brains work and how people work mentally. And we have the opportunity to definitely learn way more. So why could we not figure out how to just get people to all, essentially be some type of civilized human being that just enjoys their life and the luxuries that, people have made and given to each other. And you essentially just need a place to live and things to, eat. We could build grocery stores. You could give food away for free, farmers. You got to change up what it is that we're using for currency. And money is good, essentially, because it's simple. And I personally cannot think of a different method to have for currency other than bartering and trading. But that would get out of hand because innately you're going to have people who are just going to be mean and people who are just going to take everything. But how do you root that out? How do you get rid of that? How do you get an entire society of people, every single human being, 100% of the human beings that live in that area, to just be friendly to each other, to just be nice to each other, to work in what I think would be our greatest potential, is to just go together. I think that humanity's greatest potential is to just thrive together. If everyone got rid of any instinct of any societal thing that has been put on them that's imaginary, of like social status, for instance. If everyone just understood that everyone was on the same level for social status, that social status did not matter, and we just focused on, hey, let's farm, let's do this. We need things to do, which is why we buy a bunch of shit and try to fill this hole that we have in us of desire that, for this is going to make me happy, this is going to make me happy, this is going to make me happy, this didn't do it, but this is going to do it. The only thing really that I've seen that essentially makes people actually pretty happy about themselves is when they think about themselves, when they do things for themselves, when they essentially treat themselves as if they would treat a loved one, or that's they take care of themselves in that way, and they give themselves the time, they think of themselves as an actual other human being, and not just this is me, all of me. Because all you are technically is what? The thoughts inside of your head. Your brain controls your mouth to move so that you can make sounds that other people can understand, which is then translated into us for our words being language. You have this giant flesh machine that you control and move around in, and it gets hurt and it gets damaged and you feel everything. And then you get some stuff that, it's just an emotion, but it feels like physical pain, or it feels like euphoria and your whole body feels amazing. And I don't know how to describe that, but it's just, there's so many different things that we all experience as a human being. And we're just some societies are trying, some people are out there and they're trying to understand it more, they're trying to figure it out, and kudos to them. And I hope it works out, and I really hope that everyone gets the opportunity to, at least enjoy the fruits of the labor from it. It's, I don't know where we're going to be in the future, but I have a good feeling. I have a good feeling that society might come together. This pandemic, I feel, drove a lot of people to a lot of realizations, and just watching it across the news and everything, I don't understand why people believe in certain things, but that's just kind of where it's at. And I kind of attribute it to the fact that theoretically, a human being experienced some kind of traumatic event like the pandemic and like the insurrection that happened and everything, like all of that shit, you would think that the population that experiences that, each individual is now taking an individual trauma test on how they're going to react to those types of situations. And the top percentage thing for you to react to a traumatic situation is just denial. So that makes perfect sense why parts of society would think that it's just, they're just acting in a way that's just denial. And it doesn't matter that you show them the truth, they still don't believe it, and it's hard to come out of that. So, we've just got a lot going on that could only be handled by psychologists and therapists. And I don't think that medication is the answer. I think that understanding it more and trying to tackle it in a way of just giving every human being the understanding that it's okay to feel how you feel. It's okay. That's just how the world is. I'm sorry, but you just have to accept that this is what happened in the world and try to just enjoy your life. This is just one big adventure. You can only do so much, and we've just driven ourselves into a society that has so many other problems that are caused because we're just in a big society and together, and I just hate it. I wish more people were able to feel okay in this world, and more people were able to enjoy what's going on and in the technological advances. I mean, we've got the internet. People talk bad about the internet and social media and everything. The only reason we're at where we're at is because everyone knows everything about everyone, and we wouldn't have that without social media, and we wouldn't have that without the internet. And I've made friends across the fucking globe, so the internet just brought humanity closer together, and that's kind of what helped shape my thought process on the fact that there are good things coming from what's happening in the world, and that we are becoming closer and closer to being an actual species and taking control of the situation that's at hand for climate and everything. We've got people who are speaking out. I don't know where it's going, and I don't know how it's going to end, but there are people out there who care about the world. There are people out there who are trying. It's not just me, and that makes me feel good. I personally just wish I had a little more direction. Someone could just tell me what to do or where to go, so I would know what to do with my brain and how I think and all of the stuff I've thought of, and actually put it to some kind of use instead of it just being useless, like all the knowledge I have of Pokemon. Like, what am I going to do with that? What is that contributing to? That's just enjoyment. But thinking was enjoyment at first, and it's not so much anymore. Thinking for me now is kind of just, it just happens. It's just a natural thing, and I'll just talk. And my thought always goes to, why is the world the way it is? That's always the question to start it. Why is the world the way it is? And then I sit and think about it, and I try to answer it, and I try to think of why. And I give a lot of people the benefit of the doubt. And it's a blessing and a curse. It's okay, but my only goal really is just to enjoy life, and I'm just curious. Curiosity is what drives me. What drives you as a human being? What's your motive as a human being? What are you planning for? What do you care about? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? Do you want to leave a legacy behind? I know that people have different plans and different things that they think about that drives them and the center of who they are. Where did you think life was going to be at, wherever you are right now? Did you get everything that you wanted? You know, they say that getting everything you want is a bad thing, but I think it really just depends on what it is that you want. Because the thing that I want is for humanity to be peaceful and for everyone to have the opportunity to just walk in the woods and observe the leaves and the trees and the wind blowing through them and listening to the rustling of the branches and watching the leaves change colors and seeing the little insects that are around and realizing that the harder you look, there's more, so much more to see. And then to watch yourself create something from things that you didn't think you could. Whether it be helping someone build a cabin or, you know, going to another whole nother world and exploring those woods and just seeing how different the environment is. There's so much to see. Just because people have been there doesn't mean you can't go there either. There's so much to enjoy. That's all I want.